Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, Friendship and Stupidity universe. This is our special morning/afternoon episode that we like to do every once in a while. Before we kick it off, I have a little forecast for us, a 5-day weather forecast for the next 5 days. So we'll start off with Monday. Monday, we have a 30% chance of Isaac telling one of his coworkers to stop being a little bitch, with an increasing chance as the day goes on. You know who you are. On Tuesday, there is a 60% chance Andy will question the intelligence of his coworkers, also increasing as the day goes on. On Wednesday, we have an 80% chance of Isaac asking, "Do you have any idea what we're talking about today?" Thursday, there is a 75% chance Andy will work from the couch all day. And then Friday, the most troubling weather report of all. We have about a 50-50 chance my roommate's mom will listen to this podcast. We run that risk every week.
I thought you were going to say like it was going to snow or something. I was like, dude, don't even fucking say that. Let me say that. The weather's been so crap.
So that was something that when I was in a fraternity, we would do during our meetings. It would just be like the 5-day report of weather, I guess, but it would just be each person getting roasted during the week. It's usually longer too, but I wanted to take a little stab at it. So that was that. I might do it more often. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean.
But that's my weather report, and those percentages, those are facts.
I was say those feel locked in.
Yeah,
those feel like actual numbers I could get behind.
Yeah,
like calling someone a bitch. That's likely. That's likely. Like that would be like a weatherman saying, "The sun's going to be in the sky today." But I do it out of love. I don't do it out of like
for sure
harshness.
Yeah.
But look, sometimes when you work with people, sometimes you got to say that to them.
Sometimes you got to put people in their place.
Exactly. And it's again out of a good place. I have a really good place. Speaking of other percentages as well, Andy and I talked about before the podcast what we will talk about, because I asked that question as he sat down, because like he said, this is like a morning one that we don't normally do, and we've already recorded an episode, which we usually just go off the cuff and have like a whole week to think about it, but this one's a little bit shorter of a time frame, and we truly thought nothing.
So I did have an idea of what to talk about. I didn't do any research on it, because the reason being is because I figured this is the morning podcast. We usually talk a little, like we're just like casually talking about stuff. We don't really go into like any weird topics, I guess. I was going to talk about the fact that O.J. Simpson died this week.
Yeah, see, like everyone's losing their goddamn mind about that. Like one of the guys I work with literally hopped in the van and was like, "I got huge news." And I was like, "All right, dude, what's up?" He was like, "You'll never believe it." I'm like, "Okay, dude, what?" He's like, "O.J. Simpson died." Okay. I literally just stared at him. I was like, "What else you got?"
The juice is dead.
Yeah, I was like, "Look, sometimes juice runs out." I don't get it, dude. Like, I was just like, I just didn't understand. Like, I'm like, okay, I get that he was a big, like, like a big figure in sports, and then also, he
did that
potentially murdered somebody, and he even wrote a book about it.
Did you really?
Yeah, he said how I would have done it.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Could you imagine writing a book like that? Like,
I want to write a book like that. I want to call it "How I Would Kill Isaac."
Yeah, literally. A murder should happen, and then you should be like, "I didn't do it, but this is how I would have done it," and then it's just like creepily close, and you're like.
And then I would replace the glove so it wouldn't fit me.
Yeah. Exactly. It was just wild. Like when he told me that, I was like, that sucks. Like, but at the same time, I was like, it happens a lot, so I didn't really think anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to celebrity deaths, it's like, okay. I mean, that really sucks for like entertainment. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's not entertaining anyone. I mean, possibly.
Yeah,
it could have been. But the reason I was going to bring it up was just like when I read the headline, I did feel a little weird. You know, I felt like there was almost like, and I wasn't born during like the trial or anything, or I wasn't alive, so like I don't have any stake in it, but I feel like it's almost like there's no closure on the fact that he probably murked two people.
Yeah. I guess that part I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I understand the feeling. And I guess a part of it too is it's probably so referenced and you know so much about it that it's kind of wild for that not to be around anymore. Mm-hmm. It's still going to get referenced every single time, but like now it's just not going to have that much punching power.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. See, I think a big one, you'll see an uprising whenever Danny DeVito goes. The Veetster, it's going to be an all out. Like, it's going to be like, it's going to take, like, everyone's going to have to take the day off.
Yeah.
No lie.
I think that's fair. I mean, how much of the world was affected whenever Betty White died?
Oh, yeah.
I
forgot about that.
I feel like
that's a big one.
It was a big one, but it wasn't as. This is a great topic for.
Yeah, I was gonna say
a morning
morbid.
podcast. Yeah. Well, I don't. I almost feel like it was like, you know what, she lived 99 years.
Yeah.
It was like it was a respect thing. It wasn't like oh man, she's gone.
Uh-huh.
It was weird. So it's Danny DeVito going. I mean, I hope it's no time soon. I feel like I for some reason I'm like really
feeling jinxy.
I'm
right?
scared.
Like like, like you feel like you're gonna jinx somebody if you keep talking about him too much.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nah. He'll be good for a minute. I give it like
maybe just a minute.
I give it like 5 years.
How old is he?
I don't know. I can look it up real quick if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll look it up.
I'll try to fill some time here. I feel this is weird. Do you ever get deja vu?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes. Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
No. Yes. Yeah. We just talked about this.
No, we didn't.
Are you shitting me right now?
What?
Are you shitting me?
No.
Hey, that was literally last episode.
No.
Yes. Nut job. He's 79 years old.
Okay.
I honestly thought he was a little bit older than that. So, like I said, he's got some time still.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how he conducts his life, but he was the Penguin at one point.
I'd automatically add like another 10 years to the lifespan. I'm pretty sure that he stays pretty healthy. I mean, all he does is eat Jersey Mike subs. So like
that's fair. Yeah,
like he's got to be good, right?
What was he was in a State Farm commercial with Arnold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he's got State Farm and Cold Cuts. He's fine.
And Arnold.
Yeah,
and Arnold is he's for some reason gonna live forever. So
I think so too, man. And it's still weird. Like he's still in pretty good shape. Mm-hmm. It's like Sylvester Stallone. Have you ever seen him, dude?
I mean, I've seen him. Yes.
Well, yeah, but like lately, like he still looks buff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's weird. Like he just looks like his hair is just gray.
Yeah,
he's just like he's still Rocky, but he's not like.
It's weird. Right? Like
I think.
I think he's just got like injections to make it look like he's muscular.
I mean, is he in many movies anymore? Because like if he was, then maybe.
Expendables. What was the last Expendables movie?
Recent.
Yeah,
recent.
Let's look that up too. Because
like The Rock, he's still wrestling. He was just in the main event of WrestleMania a couple weeks ago.
That's wild.
And he doesn't look. Like a lot of the announcers kept saying he's in the best shape of his life. That's not true. He looks good.
Yeah.
For his age. Like, I think we looked it up and he's 49. I want to say, because everyone thinks that The Rock is older than he is.
Let's see.
Okay.
I'll also look this up.
Well,
I'm the Google machine today.
What,
How much do you want to bet? I'm not bet really. What is your guess
on
Sylvester Stallone?
Oh, did you look up Arnold?
I did not look up Arnold.
No, that's fine. You don't have to. I think Arnold is probably in his late 70s, so I'm going to guess Sylvester Stallone is 81.
Sylvester Stallone, he's not 81. Wow,
Okay.
you really fucking aged him up there, dude.
Did I really?
You think he's older than Danny DeVito?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, he's older than Arnold.
Okay.
Arnold is 76. Sylvester Stallone, 77.
Okay, so I mean, I thought like I was going to say late
Late
70s.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is 51 years old.
Okay, so again, yeah, I don't know why. I think because John Cena is also like getting up there in age.
Yeah.
And he's only in his 40s. And like when you think of like the timeline of when they were wrestling, because they started very different times.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like The Rock should be like 10 years older than John Cena, but I think he's only like 5 years older than him.
Yeah, that makes
something
sense.
like that.
I mean, also too, going back to what you said earlier with like, you feel like people have talked about them and like they think they're older. That's because everyone talking about them have been watching them for the past 20 years. And they're like, holy fuck, dude. Like, how old is this guy?
The fact that this is turning into a wrestling podcast, the fact that The Rock is able to take like the bumps that he does, like he went through a table. Like during WrestleMania, he took a spear to the like right to the midsection. It was like, man, this guy is like, he's still like able to do this stuff.
Yeah,
and he's a movie star too. But I think somewhere in his contract apparently is that he can't get punched more than X amount of times because it makes him look weak.
That's wild.
Yeah. Well,
that is insane.
But that sounds like a Rock thing. I've definitely made the turn back into WWE fandom.
Yeah.
I'm there. And I think The Rock has helped. I think I think I'm changing on The Rock because I used to hate The Rock as an actor.
Yeah.
Still have not watched any of his movies. Mm-hmm. I think I like him as an actor.
Well, we actually just discussed that there would have been one movie with The Rock that you would have watched if he got casted at it as a character, and that was the new Borderlands movie.
That's correct.
Because we sat there for 20 minutes thinking about other people that could be in the cast other than the people that got casted. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson beat out Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Because there's something... I don't... If you played the games, you'll know that Roland. You'll know that Roland is a big, tall guy, muscular. He's got like a military background, but he also likes to have fun. I feel like The Rock fits that.
I think you're being too generous. In the game, the guy's not 2'5" like Kevin Hart. So that's really the main thing. And for people who don't know, Borderlands is based on a video game, and they recently released a trailer for the movie that's going to be coming out in like, I don't know, it's like 4 months or something at this recording at least. And like you could literally just look like at side by sides of characters from the game and from the movie, which like it's a very stylized game, but oh my God, they did some people dirty. Like
and I think when it comes to just video game adaptations, it never goes well to movies or shows. However, we have there are a few differences or whatever in that statement. One being The Last of Us, that was pretty good, and recently released.
Yeah, Fallout.
Yeah.
Which I've heard from multiple people. I've only watched the first episode. I will say, based on the first one, I fully said that show was going to suck. Like, before it came out, I was like, the show is going to be awful. I don't know what they're going to talk about. Like, I just don't like that they're using that world. Like, everything about it, I was like, big yuck. That first episode, dude, made me eat dog shit. It absolutely made me eat dog shit. I like literally, as I got done with the first episode, and I said,
I mean,
I was wrong. Yeah, I was absolutely wrong. And I was pleasantly shocked at like how wrong I was. The whole entire episode, I was like, that's a reference.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that reference.
It's not like in your face, but it's like it's there.
It was like, it was as close you could get to the video game.
That's really cool. I'm pretty sure you and I talked about this. I think you were the one who said it, like, who needs this? Who asked for this?
Yeah, literally. Because I had no idea what there was no way that I could see them. There was no way I could see them doing what they did. Mm-hmm. Like in my head, I was like, I don't know what story will keep me intact for this. Mm-hmm. I truly don't. They did it.
So I haven't watched it yet. I'm thinking whenever we're done doing what we got to do here, I'll watch an episode or two, because they released all of them at one time, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah, because I had one friend that was like, I'm on episode 3, and I was like, oh, they must have released a good bit of them. And then I had another friend who at like 12 o'clock at night said, I'm on episode 5 and still watching. This show is great. And I'm like, wait a minute, how many episodes did they release? So I think they did just release it all.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just going to be a one-time thing. I guess it just depends on the story. But
yeah, so where are we in the movie, the TV series? Like, what state? Because it always takes place in a state.
So from what I heard, I believe it's Los Angeles.
Okay.
So
could have some references to New Vegas.
Absolutely could.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, New Vegas is just another Fallout game, Fallout TV show, also based on a video game. So that's why we're talking about it. And so excited, and ate my fucking words on it. Because, again, that whole entire... my roommate can attest, the whole entire episode, I was saying, oh, that's that thing. Like, I literally... I did not shut up that whole entire episode because I was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the thing. They referenced the thing. And she was like, what? And I had to explain it to her every single time I did it. I paused that episode so many times. But... Do
you think they have settlement building?
They might, actually. They might. I don't know. But the best thing by far, and it was my biggest worry, was before watching that show. I was obviously worried about what they were going to talk about, because I was like, how are you going to make this interesting? Which they did. My second thing was how dark they were going to go, because I was like describing to my roommate how dark those games are. And I was like, they're pretty messed up. So like, how are they going to do that? And they did it.
Yeah.
They went fucked up. Literally, dude, they went fucked up. And then they said some like off the wall shit where like you heard it and you're like, that's weird. Like, I don't normally hear that on the TV show. And they just keep saying it. And you're like, what's going on here? I'm like, wait a minute, are they really talking about this stuff right now? I'm like, it's the third time they've mentioned it. Like, which I obviously don't want to give it away, but like, it was just something that you don't really hear people say on TV shows a lot. And I don't know. I'm very excited to watch the rest of them, especially after all my friends said that it's gotten better and better as each episode has gone on.
I'm curious what I'll think of it, because I've only played Fallout 4. And from my understanding, Fallout 4 is one of the weaker games of the series. And I can definitely agree with that. I think that it's a fun time, and still the fan base is there and playing that game. I've noticed that Fallout 4 has turned into like Dark Souls 1, where people just start to play it and doing challenge modes. Like there will be like, can you beat all of Fallout 4 just using your fists, or using like on survival mode only using a sniper or something. And it's interesting. It's interesting that like so many people latch onto it, and I guess it's because it's like a recent game, but like Dark Souls 1 is such an old game, and they're still playing that and doing challenge runs.
Well, see, I love watching people do that dumb shit because I'm just like, you're so good at the goddamn game. I hate you. And then the other part of it is too, I'm just like, you're naughty. I'm like, I don't know how you spend your time, but like, it's disgusting. Like,
isn't there part of you that thinks I should try this?
There has been, and there is. Like, I have most definitely been that guy. Every single Dark Souls game I try to beat with a bow only. And I did because actually whenever we were playing it together, I went through...
You're going to rub that in my face?
Absolutely. I went through, beat the game, because like I played it so much... Oh God, this is going to sound so horrible. I played it so much that I didn't have to play alongside of you. I just knew where you needed to go in my head. So I went ahead and just ran past everything and beat the game on my own character. And I was like, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. And you were still playing it, but you were in a weird place where you were enjoying it, but then you weren't playing it like every day or anything. So like, I was like, well, I still want to make sure I'm like up to date on everything. So I was like, I'll just start another character. I was like, I'll do a bow character. And it just went by too smoothly. And I just kept going and going. And I beat the game and then got a whole new character back to where you were. And I said, Andy, I'm about to beat you in this with only a bow. And you said, the fuck you are. And that's like, it got reignited. Yeah. You got right back on. And I still think I just squeaked it out just before you.
You did. And I think if you never did that, I don't think I ever, not that I never would have beaten the first Dark Souls game, but I would probably still be working on it.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have moved on to Dark Souls 2.
Sometimes you just need those little pushes in games. Like that's it's as simple as that. Like if there was a way that I could push you to play more Red Dead 2, I think I would, because I just thought about that.
I've been thinking about that so much over the past month.
You went from this
beautiful.
This game's beautiful. Like honestly, this is like one of the coolest games I think I've played. Like there's so much to do. It looks so good. The story's already getting me in. I want to take a break though, because I wanna keep my pace at it. I'm like, that's completely understandable. I respect that. I think you should enjoy your time. 7 weeks later, I have not heard you talk about it one time.
I've been thinking about it a lot. I fell into the Fallout rabbit hole because I just like, I got that creative mind in me of like, I want to start doing like settlement building stuff. Like, cause I've just like I was watching some YouTube videos of like people going all out and going hard with like the building simulator in there. So I was like, I'm going to do this. And like you said, 7 weeks go by.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched Red Dead. And I've been like, I think about it all the time. I'm like, I need to play Red Dead. But then it's like, well, I've been playing Fallout and I don't want to like lose the momentum on that.
Yeah. So this might be interesting. How do I want to put this? To like explain to people who don't play video games. Because people who do, like, they're like, I get that, like, just getting sucked into a game. But, like, there's something about when a video game hooks you, like, how would you describe that? Because, like, my only, like, way I think I can describe that is, like, it's like the first time you started watching Game of Thrones or whatever your favorite TV show is. And you watch that first episode and you're like, wow, that was really good. I really like that. And then that second one just... something about it just fucking puts some hooks in you.
Or it's whenever you listen to the first episode of Friendship and Stupidity.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's exactly what people have done. But no, like, there's something about, like, a video game, especially when something, like, has, like, a ton of stuff that you can do in it. You just have that literally, like, when you're watching a TV show, you get that every single episode for, like, an hour, and you're like, sick. That was good. I can't wait to watch that again. Video game, you have that every single, like, minute you're playing it.
So,
almost.
Yeah, and I've explained this actually before, and it's the reason why I think...
On the podcast?
No, to someone else. It's the reason why and I've kind of switched on this, surprisingly. It's the reason why I can't watch long movies, at least in my home. I can watch, and I have watched long movies like in the theater because like you pay for it, like you and you like
and you're there.
You're there. You're forced to watch the whole thing.
Exactly. When you're in your home, you can get up and go to the bathroom. Like I'll just
be
pause
on your phone.
Exactly.
For some reason, there like I mean, yeah, it's a rule that you should like silence your phones, like don't be on your phone. But there's just that feeling of like, I don't want to get on my phone during this.
I don't want to be
like,
disrespectful.
Exactly.
The previews told me to turn my phone off.
Exactly. Yeah. Greg Marcus is yelling at me.
Greg Marcus? Who the fuck is that?
He's the owner of Marcus Theaters.
No. I was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, I've never heard of this name before. All right. Sorry, go on.
So a few years ago, I was explaining why I hadn't watched the Lord of the Rings movies, because they're long movies. And I was just saying, like, I just don't have the attention span for that. And then I said, I can play video games for like 6 hours straight, but it's because I'm attentive the whole time. I'm using my brain the whole entire time that I'm thinking, like, if I'm playing something just as stupid as Minecraft, I'm thinking, how do I want to build this? And then I build it, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like the look of that. What if I add like this addition here, or like this or that? It's using your brain, and that's why you kind of like get sucked into it, because you're actually actively using your brain to progress in the story or progress in what you're doing. I also think there's some sort of like dopamine rush.
Oh, for
depending on how the story goes. Or I mean, I'm telling you what, video games are like, they're able to portray something from characters that you don't give a shit about in such a good way that it makes you care about them.
Yes.
And that's part of the other, like, you care about the end result.
Yeah, because it is just as gripping as a movie. And I think another reason for that, or at least for me, is I wear headphones when I play, which is annoying to my roommate. But like that's how I get in it. And for me, like, I've had so many times where like I've been like, there's been TV shows where I've been like, that's sad. That's really sad that character died. There's been video games where I've took my headset off and just walked away because I'm like, oh, I cannot,
because
I can't function.
You are that character.
Yeah, like
in a show or a movie, you're just watching it. You're just like you're watching it from the audience. But I'm the opposite. I don't wear my headphones whenever I'm playing like a single player game.
But then for you, it's like a movie experience, though.
It is, but for some reason, I don't get that feeling of like I'm not playing as Arthur Morgan or like whoever, like whatever game I'm playing as in the moment. It's weird.
See, I think for me, there's a specific reason for that, because if I don't wear headphones, I'm not attentive.
That's fair.
Because my brain, and that's why I like video games too, for me, is because I think I'm just now having an epiphany. I think I like them so much because I can stay focused. And whenever I have that headset on, it's the same thing as if I'm just watching videos or listening to music. Like I'm honed in. Like for the first time for the day, I'm honed in on one thing. And then that's why I can just like zone out and do it, because my brain is actually finally focused on one thing. The whole entire day, it's like focused on 1,000 different things, or like just my brain is thinking about 1,000 different things. And then for the first time that day, it's just like, you go to this pinpoint on the map. I might be like, oh my God, stop talking. Come on. Like, let's progress this a little bit further. You know, like sometimes I'm like that for sure. But then sometimes my brain is literally just like, I got to kill 30 people. Got it. I got that. Like, that's locked in my head. And that whole entire time, I'm like, I think I can go here to do that. I think I can go here to do that. Like, my brain is focused on, it might be thinking about multiple things within the game, but it's focused on one thing in general. And I think that's why, like, I play them so much, and like it just grips me in so much. And
it's tough for us. When I started playing Red Dead, I was very much like, I'm not gonna like. I was just like, listen, Isaac, I just want to get really into this, so I'm not gonna like be in a party with you. I just want to, I want to focus on it, because otherwise, you're gonna be in the mic going, bleh, bleh.
You'll literally play it every day. Yeah, like, literally just like as I'm getting hit by somebody, and like you're like a really important cutscene. It's like, look, I will shoot you down right now. Oh, hey, literally the whole entire time.
And I will say that does add to the experience.
Yeah.
I think like in some games, like sure that might be funny.
Yeah.
Because like, or like you're playing it for like a second time or whatever, and that happens, and you're just like imagining Isaac in the background just getting choked out.
Yeah. Like literally we were playing games last night, and like it's just a game where we play with each other, and we played it before, so we're not really paying that much attention to the story. It's really just something for us to do. Mm-hmm. And they're sitting there having this dialogue. I mean, it's a pretty goofy game anyway, but they're having this somewhat serious dialogue. And then we're in the background just jumping cars off of stuff, or just like going, help, help, I need help. Like we're down or something, or like just randomly sitting there talking, and then one of us just drives off the cliff. Like it's like that. Yeah. So like that all, like you said, it also adds a little bit to it. But,
and I think that's kind of where it gets tough, just because like we want to play games together, so then the games that we're really enjoying take the back seat, to whatever we want to do. But I will say, like, the other part about games and like the reason why they hit us so much is like if you got that co-op experience, like the whole reason why I like the game we're playing so much, and it's like one of my favorite games ever, is because of the co-op experience that I have with it. Yeah. The story I might not remember any of the story other than like the main points, but I remember how I was feeling whenever I was playing that. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's like, it's a big thing.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I can remember going through getting the achievements with my friends, like doing certain stuff in the game. Like, oh yeah, like that co-op. Mm-hmm. When you get that co-op in a certain game, also, should I explain co-op?
I don't think you need to explain
thank
co-op.
God. I was gonna say, I'm like that should be known.
Yeah,
right? That's a thing, right? Yeah. It's not just a video game thing.
No, yeah, I think that's a.
Oh, thank Christ. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I got worried for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, there's something about when you find a good game like that like brings multiple people together. That's when it's done. That's when it's over, because you're never gonna play another game again for a hot minute, because you're just fucked. But I don't know. It's like, it'd be the same thing too of like, no, I wouldn't even consider that. Like in my head, I was thinking it could be the same thing of like getting a group of friends together for like a TV show event. But I don't know. Like in a game, because like when you're watching a show with somebody, everyone's in that show. You might have a few people that are like, oh shit, like if something big happens. But for the most part, everyone's quiet and they're just honed in. Video game does not matter. Well, you could literally be doing anything and someone's just like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and it's like you can't be the guy who's like, no, stop talking, I'm trying to listen to this cutscene.
Yeah, because then you're just gonna get, shut up, you bitch,
you little loser.
Yeah, you'll be like sitting there talking to a character trying to hear something. You're like, I can't focus right now. Like
I gotta take my headphones off.
Yeah, literally, like I can't hear this guy. I can't hear this guy. Then you just have somebody like come up. You're like, can you see my dick in your face? Like while you're like in the background, they're like running behind the person you're trying to listen to. Yeah, like it's just, oh God, that's shit. You can't beat that. No. You really can't. Oh, it's so good. But I don't know. They just do something to you, man.
Yeah, it's just that feel, like, again, that dopamine of like just being happy, either playing a game that's really really getting you into it, or you're just playing with your dudes.
Yeah, dude. And like you said, that dopamine thing, that's real. Because like if you play a bunch of games where it's like you have really big like bombastic battles or something, and it's it's great work, man. Right?
Bombastic battles.
Yeah. It really felt good coming off the tongue too. But like whenever you have something like that and it just keeps going and going and going, you can get off of that game and still feel like jittery. Like you're like,
there's even like there's some games whenever you get off the game and then you start acting like the fucking character.
Dude, my best example, not even like acting like the character but like I feel like my best example of that is there's a series called Far Cry, and the one that I'm thinking of that I played a shit ton was Far Cry 3. And in that game, there's a hawk that'll fly down and attack you. When that happens, you'll be running this big game. You'll be running around, nothing really to do, and then you'll just hear a hawk sound. And in that second, holy shit, I have to look up because it's about to attack me. If you don't look up in that time, it'll, like, your whole entire screen will just be a hawk, and your character will be flailing, and you got to kill it. It's terrifying the first few times it happens. But then as soon as you hear that, like, caw, in the sky, immediately. There's been so many times in my life I played that game so much that when I was outside, I heard a caw, and I immediately looked up, like, in real life. I was like, oh my fuck, I'm so stupid. Like, or you play too many war games and you see like a glint off in the distance. You're like, sniper. And you just like duck your head a little bit and you're like,
get down.
Yeah, literally. Like it's so stupid, but it could be even like a little reflection off of a car and you're like, oh shit, I'm not playing my game. Like
I've had one recently with Red Dead. Like I don't know. I'm just like walking around like a cowboy, just like talking like a cowboy, whatever. But the one that like comes up a lot from whenever I was younger was whenever I played the Telltale games. I would like walk around and I'd like you'd have to press like a button to pick something up, and I would like pick it up and I would just do like the
the classic like video game turn.
Like, it's like facing this way and like I wonder what's on the other side of this.
And for people who are just listening, it's the dumbest fucking turn. Imagine picking something up and literally just twisting your hand completely backwards. Like
it's the most like unnatural way to turn something.
And it's never like, when you're playing the game, it's never like a good easy turn either. It's always
It's either there's either way too much movement in the wrist or it's like way too quick. So it's like, I'm going to slowly turn this horse. And it's just like so quick.
Yeah, literally. Like, what's on the bottom of this thing? Just literally, just flipping it upside down all around. Like it's
I'm trying to read this. No.
Motherfucker. Yeah. God, I completely forgot all about that in games. It's so funny.
Or the thing that whenever you actually mentioned this at like one of the first episodes of the podcast, and you said like when you're talking to someone and you do something bad, it says in the corner, Clementine will remember that.
Yeah, literally. I like to say that to you a lot. Like I like whenever we do something, we're like, remember that.
Yeah.
But like it has multiple levels. Like, yeah, I'll remember, but it also has like the video game, like I'd like to think in my head.
Yeah, and
remember that.
And then in my head, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, literally, like, fuck. Because in those games, wherever it says something like that, you immediately have that. What did I just miss? Like I just missed out on something, right? Like they're gonna be angry.
Did I forget to say something? Did I say the wrong thing?
They're not gonna save me now. Oh
yeah, and it's
man.
Like it's so like those games are like it puts it like it shoves it right back in your face so obviously, and like an episode later it'll just be like, well, you didn't pet the cow, so I'm not gonna save you.
Yeah, literally.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't save dairy. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do that for you. I'm not unlocking this door. And you're like, motherfucker. God.
I knew I should have saved dairy.
Like, God damn it. Like I didn't want to go get the fucking milk pan to do that. God damn it. Like God, I only had a little bit of time before I got off. Son of a motherfucker. Yeah, literally. It's so funny. God, I hate when that happens in games. It's so ridiculous.
Well, I think that we went from not knowing what to talk about to just going full out on video games. And
Yeah.
I think every once in a while, just like this episode, we need one of those.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I was going to say, this is pretty close to what we normally talk about, like when we're just playing video games, but there's other podcast episodes where we're insane, and that is also on par with us that talk about just random shit.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, I mean, this episode, I think it's another one of those, like, get an idea of, like, what Isaac and Andy are into. But if you want to know what we are like whenever we are drinking, just watch another, like any other episode of the podcast.
Literally.
Because that's whenever the chaos really comes out and we just start talking about whatever the hell comes to our minds.
Which it's going to happen in a few months.
Oh, with the Borderlands movie, we've already, I would love to be able to like do some sort of content with that.
Oh.
Like we've already said that we're going to drink a whole bottle of Kraken again and watch that movie. Ooh. That might be the drunk episode. We follow it up with an episode right afterwards. Maybe it's a little review.
Oh, dude. Could you imagine that? Where would we just piss drunk? So where's fucking movie? I'd literally fall asleep. I'd literally be like hitting the mic with my forehead like... That'd be so bad. We'd have to have the producer here to like keep us in line, like keep clapping. Yeah,
exactly. Hey, set up.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to get McDonald's in the middle of it, just eating like a Big Mac.
I think our DoorDash is here. We just stand up and like it's just like we don't stop the recording. It just keeps going.
You hear us all the way in the background. Food.